And welcome to Tironan's Unfriendly Skies. Today we are going to be showing you the B-32 by Consolidated. Let me take the garbage off the screen for you there. Now, the aircraft's history, it actually flew in World War II, though very late. It did not really arrive until, April of 1945. And it only served in the Pacific Theater and was used primarily for photo reconnaissance. So it gives you an idea just how late this aircraft arrived. And there were about 113 of these built. It was a serious project, but it was built as a backup for the B 29. Unfortunately for the B 32, the B 29 worked out just fine and did everything it was supposed to, while the B 32 had a few issues. One of them being that this tail that you see on this early aircraft didn't really work at all. So they took a B 29 tail, put that on there, and that still didn't work. So they eventually ended up with this monstrosity of a barn door. That's what it took to stabilize the aircraft in the lateral stability issue. It also had a number of advantages. And you can see here, these are not B 29 wings, they're Davis wings. Which gave it a lot more maneuverability than a B 29. One of the additional problems with this particular aircraft was that the pressurization system never really worked. Now, its speeds were very much comparable to the B 29. It was capable of doing up to about 359 miles an hour and cruised at 280 miles an hour. Pretty darn quick. But it couldn't get up to the heights, which made it very vulnerable to interception. All in all, when you looked at that against the B 29, well, yeah. Yeah, so as soon as VJ Day came, which is victory over Japan, the production orders were canceled. But you can see there was a very serious project. They were deadly serious about ordering hundreds upon hundreds of these up until Japan surrendered. And as a replacement for the A-20 Havoc and the B-24, it still had a role. It would have been ordered in more numbers had Japan not collapsed. But pretty much did, or actually it was a full formal surrender. Who the heck am I kidding? Let's take a look at it as it appears in the game. Now, it did use the same engines as the B-29. And that was great power output, but it did have its problems. Oil leakage and the occasional fire. Let's go take a look at the specifications of the aircraft. You had 10 M2 machine guns or M3 machine guns, however they. I believe that's M2s. Okay. That's what they're listing here anyway. They have a research department. I don't. I'm assuming that's correct. And it's a fairly well defended fighter, but I wouldn't count on it too much in actual gameplay. The bomb load, as it sits, you start off with 20 bombs, and that's one bomb drop. Okay, so you double your bomb load when you get 30,000 points in experience. I still have a ways to go with this aircraft. But it comes with this full defensive armament minute one, which is nice. It needs it. Okay, additional upgrades, you get another 2,000 points in hit points. And then, of course, you get your engine, which I'm fairly close to getting, which speeds up the aircraft, which is also nice. All right, so when you get your third engine, you get up to the full speed of the aircraft. Right now, when you're looking at the aircraft, we've looked at the guns, we've looked at the bombs. Okay, so you're going to get 1,800 points. This is going to put you at over 2,000. Give you a few more seconds of survivability under fire anyway. Cruise speed is 205 and 344. Maneuverability is awful. Almost 29 seconds. That's going to be changed depending on what you put on it, of course. Altitude is pretty nice. You don't really want to get below 5,500 feet, and you don't really want to get above 7,800 feet. So what does that mean in action? Well, a couple of things. First off, any heavy fighter with a decent forward ordnance is going to kill you. That's just a fact of all bombers. I don't care which type are being said. The defensive armament on it is enough that with a good gunner and some of the perks that come with this is a brand new pilot and a brand new gunner on this, by the way. I'm keeping the B-17G just for whatever reason. And as such, I want to, but as you get the gunner and the pilot up, then you get survivability going and a few other things that should help this aircraft quite a bit. What I'm dealing with now in some of the replays that you will see is people taking their super uber plane and their super uber pilot and their super uber armament and just having a field day with it. 335s eat this thing for lunch. P-80s eat this thing for lunch. And the reason I know is I've flown against them. And so, for whatever, it's going to happen. As far as the bomber itself is concerned, it's a carpet bomber. So you want to make sure that on your bombing runs you get at least 2 and preferably 3 targets fairly close together and mow them all down. Because if you can get to all 3 targets before you run out of bombs, you will kill all 3. All right. It is no trick with this aircraft to get 3 consecutive targets. And when you get the second bomb load, you can actually turn right around and do it again. You can at least heavily contribute to a site's flipping over to your side with a single run. And with both bomb loads, if you turn around and get turned around before you get killed, which is more difficult than it should be, you will definitely take the target. Okay? Now, this thing is really kind of predicated on doing a single line run through a target. And so, to the degree that you can, if you see 2 or 3 targets that are fairly close together, and there's already people working over, go take out your 3 targets, run on to the next base, dump your next bomb load, and then head on to the next base. So you standard clockwise or counterclockwise, working it over. As long as you keep doing that, the other side is going to have a very hard time keeping the bases that it needs to win. So this, while somewhat more vulnerable than I would like, and mind you, I am dealing with a nothing pilot, a nothing gunners, and it's all just as you bought type of stuff right now, is where I'm kind of at with it. Now, it's going to get to be a tougher aircraft as it moves up. All right. I am going to also mention that I spent about 2,000 gold so I could bring in a new aircraft. So if some of you generous souls feel like throwing some gold and silver my way, feel free to do so. It won't upset me in the least, I promise you. You're not obligated to, of course, but just be aware that, bringing these things to you can have some material cost to yours truly. And if you feel like you got a few bucks extra, I'm not going to object. Okay. Let's go ahead and take this to the game. Okay, so now here we have our gorgeous B-32, and it is an intimidating aircraft. All those turrets sticking out all over it and everything. Big barn door for a tail. Just wish it moved a little quicker. But we have 2 engine upgrades, so that should be okay. We should be having some fun with this. Alright. Now it's our standard map here. We have a command control base up here. We're going to want to hit it quickly. And then we're going to want to get over to the mining plant and go visit it. And I am at just the upper end of the optimal drive here, ready to start dropping my bombs. And there they go. Lining up on the next one. And we have now dropped our bombs.
Trying to contact the front headquarters.
And so we're just moseying along here, trying to pick up a little speed. And don't be shy about taking out AA guns, because they are really going to be a problem for you. Okay, so not bad, not crying about it. Gonna turn around and try to finish taking up this base. But we're already a little short on and shy on hit points thanks to AA guns here. I'm trying to slither around a little bit.
Enemy bombers inbound. Don't let them reach their target.
Okay, gotta line up on it. And move right along. And I'm after the enemy's command base here. Alright, gotta pay attention to my bombing now. line up for the next base. And the A guns got me. And if you play bombers long enough, you will very quickly come to the conclusion that you absolutely loathe, hate, and despise AA guns.
You'll soon be cut off from support. I say again, support will not.
Alright, so we got this base right next to us. Let's go ahead and take the garrison. Or at least try to take the garrison. Obviously, we are under attack.
Here, unable to proceed. Return into base. Do you copy? Victory is in sight. Good up.
Well, we did get 2 bases under attack here, so they should go away very quickly. And I see our command base has been taken, so we're going to head back over to it. And that's going to do it for this run. So we got our little mission complete for the bomber. Not bad, I guess. Decent experience, kind of like that part of it. And not bad, 7 bases. Base targets, I should say, ground targets, whatever. Completed some missions, not going to cry too much about that. And came in 3rd. Not bad. And then we are going to get to this mission where I begin to inhabit the dark side of bombing.
You are approaching the front line. Off we go.
Now, the military base here is just the epitome of what you want the kind of target that you want for a B-32 or a B-17, because they can drop lots and lots of bombs, and there are lots and lots of targets packed very closely together. Unfortunately, my team decides to go do the let's go take the air base thing instead of let's go get the military base, and does not cover their beloved B-32 bomber. Now, you notice I've already got somebody behind me here. I'm desperately trying to defend myself. So we got that taken care of. And I want to take this base, but I haven't got bombs yet. And it occurs to me I'm still going to have to wait, so I'm going to move on to the next base here and start bombing the heck out of the plant. And the air defense aircraft takes me out. Alright, we'll begin our run here. And at least I have lots of targets to hit this time. Nice drop for us. trying to keep the guns on target here. I am going to suggest that you get the gunner armor on this aircraft. You lose your gunner way too quick. And I still notice, looking at the map, that we just are not getting good coverage from our fighters over this military base, while the GA and your bombers are trying to get the job done for them. But we do have lots of time to spend over the airfields.
Will not be available.
So I'm going to go after the garrison here. We got to get some points in somehow.
We cannot support you any longer. The storm is too heavy. Do you copy? Over. Our military base is launching strikes on the enemy. This will make things easier for you.
And yes, you can defend your aircraft, kinda, if you're not wrapped up in doing something else. Coming up to make my runs.
Victory is in sight. Keep it up.
And yeah, I'm making my way towards that airfield. See if I can contribute a little bit. He's way too far away.
We have complete control of the skies. Way to go.
Coming around to the next target. So we're going to lose the air base, so I'll... And that's the end of this one.
Waiting for you back home.
Okay. So got a little bit of success there, but nothing to phone home about, crow about. And we still have a little progress to make to go get engines and airframes and that second bomb load, which would have been really nice. That is going to wrap this one up for today, folks. I hope you appreciate it. Please remember to like the video, if you would, please, and to subscribe. And we will see you shortly. We do have the spring missions coming up here, so be aware of that. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching the videos. Appreciate you very much. We'll see you soon.